Gundam GQuuuuuux is awful nostalgia bait. I just finished the season finale for this dumpster fire of a show and I have so many questions. Why do I feel like I just watched Evangelion fanfic written during a caffeine crash? Who the hell is Shuji? And did this show honestly recreate iconic Universal Century timeline scenes while completely forgetting to give me a reason to care about the characters doing them? Oh, I would love for you to be my friend today as I talk to you about Gundam GQuuuuuux, a show that had every tool it needed to be amazing and yet somehow tripped over every single one like a new type on ice. All right, I want to be fair. The show looks amazing. The animation is incredible. The mech designs are cool. The updates to some of the old mechs is awesome. The music, as with pretty much every Gundam series, was amazing. Visually and sonically, GQuuuuuux slaps. But that's where the slapping stops and the punching of my soul begins. As soon as you try to pay attention to the story, things start falling apart fast. I don't even know what the show was trying to be. A meta multiverse saga, a tragic romance triangle, a love letter to Universal Century with modern animation. The answer to all of those is yes, because you feel like they're trying to throw everything into the pot. And I'm not the only one who thinks like this. My girlfriend knows that I'm into Gundam, and when I told her a new Gundam show is coming out and asked her if she wanted to watch it, she said, yeah, I want to check out why you love all these series and stuff. But she noped out after the 6th episode. Too many characters, too many plot lines, going back and forth between two different stories. And she loves science fiction. She reads science fiction novels all the time. But she even said that this show was just too much. She even helped me build this gun plot and it was fun and awesome. And that's what piqued her interest to watch the show. It seemed like this show was only for people who watched the original series and Zeta Gundam, because they're throwing around terms all the time that no one would actually know what they are. Stuff like Minovsky particles, stuff like new type. None of these things are explained in the show, and I'm not saying that they have to explain it, but at least we didn't understand it. Things were happening on screen and she's asking me like, what is that? What's that sound effect? What are they talking about? How did they know that the person was attacking? Why are there squiggly lines around their head and then they know where the enemy is going to attack? None of that is explained. You need a little bit of information, but it glosses over all of that. And that's detrimental to anyone who wants to get into Gundam. Now let's talk about episode 12, and spoilers here on out, you've been warned. I like to call this episode, what if every Gundam reference we could think of had a baby all in 24 minutes? The RX-78 appears, the White Devil, and then it turns into a giant mecha like we're watching some Ultraman villain. Chalia Bull decides to do a full 180 and double cross Char and tries to kill him. And it really isn't explained why he did it. And by the end of the episode, they seem like they're talking like they're friends again, so it didn't even matter. Shuji and Matcha go into a Kira Kira sequence, which is a new phrase they throw into the show with already 1,000 terms. They go into the Kira Kira and a massive exposition dump comes out of the rectum. Shuji is explaining everything and how he got here and what his motivations are. You know what's better than watching an exposition dump happening all in the last episode? You actually exploring these themes throughout the show. You know, giving us details, let us feel the experiences, let those characters go through those things, and then we can have a thought in our own brains instead of you explaining to us. It felt like the writers were reading the wiki page to us instead of showing us anything. And to make it even worse, they drop big emotional moments on our heads as if they earned them. Shuji out of nowhere confesses that he loves Machu right after he just explained that he was chasing Lala through 300 different universes because he wanted to be with her. Macho and Yan reconcile like they just solved 30 episodes worth of trauma in a hallway chat. I've honestly seen better emotional arcs in Pokemon filler episodes. But what really gets me is the show had so much potential. So many pieces were there for it to be great. It's set during a Zeon civil war. Having Macho and Neon navigate the chaos, meeting up with former Universal Century characters along the way. Yes, please. Actually flesh out a believable love triangle. I'd eat that up. But no. Instead, we get side characters with no development, old characters popping up like glorified cameos, and a weird dude who talks like this the whole time, who somehow becomes the emotional center of the story without doing anything to earn it. Who is Shuji? The writers must have been pulling ideas from a Gundam dartboard, like tossing darts and saying, Cool, we'll put that in the story. Cool, we'll throw that in there. Cool, let's do that. Who cares about the story structure? Let's not kid ourselves. I really don't feel the show was made to tell a good story. It was made to hit you with that scene from that show that you liked when you were 14 and hopes the tears start flowing. I get it. Nostalgia is a hell of a drug. Seeing old school dogfights that are animated beautifully in this show and char-like monologues in modern animation is hype as hell. But nostalgia only works if you're invested in the present too. GQuuuuuux is like a remix album that forgets to make you care about the artist doing the remixing. It's all callbacks and no foundation. It's a bunch of cool moments that are slapped together without any connective tissue. So at the end of the day, GQuuuuuux is not the worst Gundam series because it's poorly made. It's one of the worst because it had everything it needed to be great and just fumbled every single narrative opportunity it had. Trying to be a multiverse story, trying to be a Romeo and Juliet kind of thing, trying to do a new universal century timeline with all this weird stuff going on with Char that is just wild and doesn't make any sense. Trying to give us a new cast of characters that they don't stick to for a long enough time so that we build up emotional attachment to them, that we care about these characters, that we know what they're doing, what their motivations are. No, it's none of that is happening in the show. And they don't even do nostalgia right because sometimes they bring in characters from the old shows and then kill them immediately. Like that one episode where they had the Psycho Gundam and they started playing the Zeta music and my heart was actually pumping. I was like, oh man, this is cool. We got the Psycho Gundam from Zeta Gundam. That one character that was from Zeta Gundam is here. And by the next episode, that character and that Gundam is killed. So who cares? And don't forget Giran. Yo, they brought out Giran, the supreme commander of the Zabi family. And within 2 minutes, he was killed. Cassilia poisons him. What was the point of bringing him onto the show at all? That is just nostalgia bait. They also brought out Bask and all he had was 3 seconds of airtime. He just looks back. That's it. What was the point of those characters? What's the point of those cameos? I seriously don't get it. In another universe, maybe this show has more episodes. Maybe the characters are actually developed. Maybe Giran doesn't die like a background extra. Maybe GQuuuuuux could have been a mother to me. And that's all I gotta say about Gundam G crap. But I wanna hear from you. Do you love the show? Do you hate it? Are you still trying to figure out who Shuji is? I genuinely want to know, so drop a comment. Until then, avoid the Kira Kira. It's not worth it. Thanks.